Hello and welcome to Lakeside Stadium for this matchup between South Melbourne taking on the Preston Lions. It is second taking on fourth place in the competition. So these 3 points are going to be very valuable for both sides this afternoon if they can secure them. It is round 13. These two sides face off for the second time this season. They faced off in round 2. That round 2 fixture was postponed a little while and they didn't actually really face off till the 8th of May. So not too long ago, all things considered. It was Preston Lions who were the winners that evening, and it was a 2-1 win in the end. South Melbourne will be looking to restore the chokehold they've had on this fixture and this matchup in the past. They'll be looking to get the 3 points here at home and not allow Preston to do the double, but still 90 minutes up ahead between these two sides. I'm Pecure Frimpong, and I'll take you through the starting lineups for both sides this afternoon. In goals for South Melbourne, Christina Esposito, number 4, Daniela Mikulev, number 5, Sophie Papasanis, number 7, Francesca Iamano, number 8, Isabella Sewards, number 9, Taylor Christensen, number 14, Misha Westland, number 16, Emily Roach, number 19, Letitia McKenna, who returns back to South Melbourne, number 20, Grace Rapp, number 22, Grace Taranto. And for the Preston Lions, they line up as follows. In goals, number 1, Charlotte Harrison, number 2, Jade Feeks, number 6, Al Talevsky, number 8, Miri Nishimura, number 9, Molly May Ramsey, number 14, Maybay Tanaka, number 15, Emma Checker, number 17, Ali Lamont, number 24, Hayley Johnson, number 37, Susan Fonsonkamp, and number 50, Georgia Henderson. And that is how both sides line up, and such impressive lineups they have available. For the home side, South Melbourne, at the moment they are struggling with injury. Just as they see the return of Grace Taranto from the injury list, they lose Amy Medwin, who was wearing a boot ahead of this fixture. So George Georgiadis' side have had to really fix and make makeshift sort of lineups and systems to go with for his side to be as competitive as they can be in this competition. They've certainly picked up the form in recent weeks, and they've only dropped points 4 games ago, and that was against Box Hill. But other than that, in their last 5, they've got 4 wins. For Preston Lions, their run's been a little bit different as of late. Before they won against Boroondara last week, they were on a 3-game losing streak after starting this season in some red-hot form, being one of certainly the favourites throughout this competition. But we are underway here at Lakeside, and it is Preston Lions who get us going. Ball immediately given up to Iamano. Cleared long, but it's going to be headed back. And there is Grace Taranto, first touch of the ball. There is Westland. You can imagine this is the match of the round. 2 quality sides and 2 teams and 2 clubs more so that have really invested in their women's program, and you can see with the quality of players they have available this afternoon. South Melbourne trying to make their way forward. Denied, but they are going to get a second effort at it. And picked up by Nishimura. Such an impressive player, Miri Nishimura. Been with Preston for a few seasons now, but so creative. Loves a long-range effort. And a beautiful through ball through Preston. Maybe through, and just couldn't get the touch needed for that shot on goal. Hayley Johnson, 11 goals to her name so far this season. Picked up once again by Nishimura. Checker. This game with 2 sides, I think the chances will come, but I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring fixture. 2 sides that are capable of scoring at will. So that ball's given up. South Melbourne coming off a game against Bentley that first 45 minutes they started the game really well, but then gave up the lead and then struggled to create as many chances they would have liked in the first 45, and that second 45 was a totally different story. They'll be looking to start this opening 45 in that similar fashion, but maybe more execution. Fronts on Cam, not able to drive through the lines. Now out wide to Christensen, but she had started her run a little bit too early, or it may have been Danielle Mikulev with the initial pass. Through the middle, Johnson coming really deep to collect the ball. Checker. Under pressure here from the press of South Melbourne. Trying to get away is Feeks. Almost picked off by Christensen. Now she is picked off. Christensen through ball inside. And a shot on goal from Roach. Couldn't direct it on target. And that is the pressure of South Melbourne. That initial press. Taylor Christensen. Such a versatile player. Can drop deep. Can be a target player, but also initiate the press as well. Inside. And Seward's not able to collect, but it will be Preston's ball. I'm going to play quickly here, Preston, but cleared away before he could reach Lamont. Roach tried to work through the traffic, but was fouled in the process. Taranto. Switch of play out to Iamano, who's got space up ahead if she can keep control of the ball, and she can. Westland. McKenna. Rapp. Found Christensen, but she was offside. Checker. Beautiful cut inside. Ishimura couldn't get that one-touch pass working. Feeks. And not able to be brought down by Fonson Cam. Iamano. Not dealt with yet. Long-range effort from Mikulev, and well wide of goal once again. And it took a deflection, so it will be the first corner of the afternoon. Be Taylor Christensen to take, and we've got Westland short option. Preston just fell asleep momentarily, and Christensen once again couldn't get back on side. Yeah, that was just a slight warning sign for Preston not to fall asleep at those corners, but dealt with it well. And Christensen just had a few issues early on in this game with being offside. Check up. Long goes essentially. And that ball may just be through, but dealt with defensively. Can't find the pass, South Melbourne. Harrison just couldn't get her feet under control, and just a pass cheaply given back to South Melbourne. Sewards. Long ball into the box. Horrison punches it away. And can't keep it in. Was Jade Feeks. Christensen. Cleared away by Ramsey, but not very far. Immediately swarmed was Roach. And now a chance to break forward for Preston. Lamont up against Taranto. Still Lamont looking for options, looking for teammates. And Taranto stood up really well to come away with the ball. Beautiful effort from Grace Taranto. Pass a little bit short to Westland. Now out wide to Christensen. Got options up ahead if she can find a teammate. Slips it through for Taranto. Continue that run beautifully. And Nishimura, little timely tackle. Ramsey down the line to Fonson Cam. And let it go, but Iamano was right there to stop the ball from progressing any further. Ramsey calling for some teammates to provide an option. And finally, Lamont comes forward. McKenna. Switch is available, and that's where it goes. Christensen needs to work to keep it in. She does, but can't get past Ramsey, who can't save it from being a corner. So will be a second corner for South Melbourne. Roach. What can she deliver? Options at the far post. Long ball. Deep into the box. Fonson Camp clears it. Lamont can't get past Iamano, so he's going to come back through Roach. Slips it through Mikulev and gone early once again. Having some early issues. South Melbourne opening 10 minutes of this contest. Just a few times, they've just been a little bit too eager, gone a little bit quick, and that line of Preston's has done really well to catch them off. Check up. Fonson Camp couldn't get ahead to it. Westland. It's just such a benefit for this South Melbourne side. This midfield is really talented. Really balanced with Westland, McKenna, and that's a beautiful bit of play to get out of trouble. Rapp. Pass a little bit off. Christensen had to come back to retrieve it. Now trying to slip through for Isabella Sewards. Gets it. Mikulev. Christensen just couldn't trap the ball under her feet. Fonson Camp blocked away. No foul called. Rapp to Roach. Back to McKenna. Heavy touch. Makes it work. Rapp once again. You can just see this game is going to be like a chess match. And that's a beautiful pass through to Christensen. And once again, gone a little bit early. There's going to be a lot of give and take. These sides are not going to be goal shy of taking chances. Got a lot of attacking firepower, but can they work their way through this midfield, which has got a lot of high quality players in there this afternoon? Christensen. Cleared away by Nishimura. Now to Fonson Camp. Inquired in the opening stage of the game. Looked like it was a handball. Referee disagrees. Ball down the line. Headed away by Ramsey. Westland. McKenna. Out wide now to Papatsanis. Going to go long to the feet of Mikulev. Couldn't bring it under control, but gets a second bite at the apple. Nishimura. And just wasn't on the same page there as Ali Lamont, who was coming short for the ball, and Nishimura wanted to go long. Tanaka heads it down. Really congested game so far. A lot of traffic. Both sides have got to work through to get a clear-cut chance. Esposito to wrap. Iamano. Interesting battle with her and Fonson Cam. Still Iamano got pushed along but continued to run. Roach. Christensen works her way inside. Roach got Iamano out wide. That's where the ball's going to go. Mikulev and Roach continuing their run in the middle. That's where the ball now, and Roach just too far underneath the ball, but that was a nice bit of play from South Melbourne going forward. I have to say, it's probably been South Melbourne in these opening 14 minutes of the game that have been the better of the two sides, but I'm going to say if you're Preston, you're not too phased about that, considering you haven't given away too many clear-cut opportunities. South Melbourne probably had a little bit more possession, dictated the play, but all that matters is scoreboard. Roach. McKenna. And picked off by Fonson Camp. Still yet to score her first goal for Preston. Lamont. Who can she find? Tries to cut it across. Papatsanis blocking that path. McKenna heads it down for Westland. Westland not able to keep control of the ball, and maybe Tanaka was fouled. Talevsky, Tanaka. Nice footwork from the Japanese player. Taranto, McKenna now. Papatsanis wants to go down the line, but blocked off once again. Looked like there was a clear foul, and certainly was. Emacheka once again. Can she set up a teammate? Got a few options in the box. Sits up well, and an easy grab in the end for Esposito. Papatsanis. Suids. Needs to be quick. Roach has done really well to get forward, but there aren't that many blue shirts who have followed. Mikulev back to Roach. Westland continuing the run, and that pass is not what it needed to be. And kept it in play, Preston. Nicely done, and then blocked off by Roach. But it couldn't keep it in play for the second time. McKenna. Christensen. Papatsanis couldn't find the feet of Sewards. Tanaka. Beautiful football. Once again from Maybay Tanaka. I've got to say that Preston, as a club, have got to be really impressed with their efforts getting back into the NPL and being such a fierce side, particularly in their second season back in the top flight. First season maybe didn't go necessarily the way they would have liked, and a lot of change during the off-season, losing the likes of Caitlin Torpey, obviously. She only came for the second portion of the season last year. But it's just really impressive to see a club invest in their women's side and their recruitment, much like sides like Burundara and South Melbourne. Really are a fantastic standard in the competition in regards of finding players overseas and bringing them to their sides and seeing immediate impact with their ability to create. That's what we love about the NPL Victoria competition. But a corner here for Preston, their first of the game, Nishimura. High delivery and not cleared away. Czech is going to get a second chance at it. Weaker foot. Brought down. Talevski. Tanaka. Ramsey got her foot tangled a little bit with the ball. Sends it back, and that's a poor pass. Taylor Christensen got a clear run at goal. Still Christensen can set up a teammate off the crossbar. And that is an absolute let-off for Preston Lions. I have absolutely no idea what Molly May Ramsey was thinking to play that pass, but Taylor Christensen, you would have thought she would have slotted that away, and it hits the underside of the crossbar. She did have an option inside to play it to Daniela Mikulev. And that is a real missed opportunity for South Melbourne. Feels like they certainly should be one goal up. And it is still 0-0 here at Lakeside. Roach. Tanaka comes away with the ball. Still Tanaka has done really well to shield the ball and cause that foul. Talevski goes long down the line. Headed away by Taranto. Fonsong Camp. Still Fonsong Camp. Gets past Papatsanis, but not enough space to send the cross in. Now a second effort, and Roach there to clear it, and Esposito makes sure it doesn't go out for a corner. Westland. McKenna beats Henderson and just sends the ball long. Asks a lot of Christensen. Don't know if she's going to be able to keep it in, and she's not able to. Ramsey. Henderson. Back to Ramsey. Down the line it goes. And just sending it straight forward for Lamont. And Esposito a long way out from goal. And it did look like Lamont had been fouled by Grace Taranto. And Grace Taranto is going to get a yellow card for that challenge. Really made a whole mess of it there, South Melbourne. Taranto didn't need to foul. Esposito, even though well out from her goal, had made sure she was going to be able to cover it. She did get to the ball first. So now, Grace Taranto on a yellow card for a substantial part of this game. We'll see if that affects the centre-back. Made the move in the off-season from Bulleen. Played in a lot of positions last season, and this year found her role as a centre-back. Fonson Cam. Beautiful ball, but Esposito off her line quickly. Easy collection. Just was begging for a run from a Preston player. That pass was certainly well short. Roach had to do a lot of work to make it a lot better than it was. Papatsanis. Only red shirts really in front of her. Now McKenna joins alongside. Going to go down the right-hand side, see if that ball will sit, and Harrison quick to react. Feeks. Blocked off by Christensen. Checker just going to send it long. Lamont not able to be put under control by Johnson, but we'll get a second effort at it. Fonson Camp. Short option available. Chooses to go solo, and that is, got to be honest, that was probably poor decision making. Needed to go to Johnson a lot quicker. Now it gets there. Johnson thought she was fouled by Christensen. Referee waves it off. Mikulev. And that was just a really messy passage of play from both sides there. Talevsky. Lamont. Tanaka. And just couldn't direct that into the path of Nishimura. Played short. Picked off by Talevsky. Centrally it goes, but Rapp clears it. Can either side find the key to unlock? And chances of goal. Besides that Taylor Christensen attempt on goal, which hit the underside of the bar, hasn't been that many clear-cut opportunities for both sides. But that Christensen one certainly was a big chance at goal. And if South don't get those 3 points, they certainly will be looking back on that, thinking, could we have done better? Tanaka. Feeks. Johnson. And Papatsanis held up really well to fend off Preston players. Roach, beautiful turn, poor pass. Needed to be better. This game just in a little bit of a lull. Not the cleanest contact. But it works out for South. McKenna pulled back a little bit by Fonson Cam. Referee waves it off once again. Letting a lot go in this game. Picked off. Lamont. What can she do? Forced wide. Couldn't find Johnson. Roach. And cheap pass given away to Checker. Feeks. Nishimura can turn and go. Got a lot of space up ahead. And that was, for a player of Miri Nishimura's quality, you expect a little bit better in that moment. I don't know if either coach at the moment would necessarily be too impressed with the last couple of minutes from their players. Just the intensity's just dropped a little bit, and some of the decision making hasn't been what we saw in the opening phases of this contest. Ramsey couldn't find Johnson. So it will be a goal kick. Iamano. Still Iamano allowed to continue her run a long way. Christensen. Roach been involved, been really lively in this contest. McKenna. Picked off by Tanaka. Not many options up ahead. Have to go it alone or just momentarily hold her run. Now she finds Nishimura. Heavy touch, but still Nishimura. And picked off by McKenna. Took multiple bites at that South Melbourne and couldn't get it back. Still Tanaka. Tidy feet. Still Tanaka. And couldn't get it to go, but beautiful bit of footwork from Maybay Tanaka in the box. Her first real foray forward. And we've got a player from South Melbourne down on the ground. Looks like it was Letitia McKenna, but she's back on her feet. But that was beautiful bit of footwork from Maybay Tanaka. Been sitting really deep for Preston throughout this game. Hasn't really ventured forward, but you can see her quality when she is on the ball. Such quick feet, quick thinking. Westland. Back to Westland. And just ran into a little bit of traffic, but it will stay with South Melbourne. Still 15 minutes left in this opening 45. Tightly contested. And one big chance go begging for South Melbourne. Preston haven't had a real shot on goal in this opening 45. Still plenty of time in this contest. This opening 45 at least. Iamano. Cut off by Feeks. Deflected back to the path of Checker. Now Ramsey. Rapp. McKenna. Deepest lying midfielder for South Melbourne this afternoon. Letitia McKenna, which is interesting. Actually, a real threat going forward, and that's a beautiful pass through. If Christensen can get a boot to it, she does, but goes wide. And Seward's not able to keep it in, so will be leave a goal kick. Another chance for Taylor Christensen. That one certainly a lot harder, a lot more difficult than the first. Outstretched boot. Feeks. Ramsey. Back to Feeks. He's going to force down the line. Iamano. Papatsanis. Westland. Back to Westland. Iamano. A lot of their options have been wide, and that ball almost finds the feet of Mikulev, but picked off by Ramsey. Johnson. Talevsky. Can't find Ali Lamont. Been isolated at times, Lamont. Now Mikulev able to pick off that pass. Westland. Surveying the area, tries to drop it in for Roach. Need to be cautious here, and tapped in to the back of the net by Mikulev. Some confusion there defensively for Preston. And Daniel Mikulev was there to capitalise on it and tap it safely into the back of the net. And there is South Melbourne's opening goal. I mean, searching for that. His opening 45. Certainly had the better chances going forward. And based on the way this opening 45 has been had, maybe they certainly had enough chances to be in the lead. But another defensive lapse for Preston has cost them. It didn't cost them the first time, but on this occasion, Danielle Mikulev couldn't be denied. And she now gets her 7th goal of the season as Lamont just couldn't retain the ball. Iamano, Papatsanis all the way out on this near side. Ramsey. Ramsey gets a cross in, and Fonts on Cam went for the spectacular, couldn't get it pulled off. Mikulev, clever touch, not many options up ahead, only Checker and Feeks nearby, and looked like a handball. Referee waves it off, but South are going to still retain possession. McKenna out wide to Sewards. And Tanaka did well, but it's still going to stay with South Melbourne. Taranto. Checker. Johnson. Couldn't get that under control. Wrap. Iamano. Cheeky little nutmeg there from Iamano. Beautiful bit of play. Christensen. Papatsanis now. Who can she find? Too heavy with that pass. And a little bit of friendly fire there from Preston. Talevsky, not able to get it under control, but Checker right there in support. Feeks. Ramsey. Checker going to go long. McKenna. Westland. Christensen. First time cross straight into the stomach of Ramsey. Iamano up against Fonsonkamp once again, and Fonsonkamp wins out. It will be a Preston throw in. Lamont comes away with it. Beautiful turn. Got Henderson through the middle. Still Lamont. That's where the cross is going to go. Fonsonkamp just ran too far forward. Tanaka couldn't get the shot underway. Iamano clears it long. Nishimura knocks it forward. And Checker sends it back. Talevsky. McKenna. First time ball forward. Westland. Tapping it forward for Roach. Beautiful play from South Melbourne. Sends it across. And a beautiful bit of goalkeeping. Needed to tap it over the crossbar. There was Harrison. Christensen over the delivery this time. To the near post. Couldn't get that contact she needed. She's going to get a second effort at it. That wasn't the best delivery. Christensen once again. High delivery this time. And there was Sewards falling back but couldn't make any contact to it. Henderson blocked the first time. Second effort. Fonsonkamp faked out Westland. But Westland wins the battle. Christensen stayed wide since that corner. Beats Talevsky. Cross inside. Sewards there. Sewards with the effort on goal. Brought down. And it will be a penalty for South Melbourne. Charlotte Harrison came out for it and just tripped up Sewards, who could made that run. And a chance for South Melbourne to double their lead just ahead of half-time. Two mistakes here. Could cost them 2 goals, Preston. This game has been difficult for them. Roach with the penalty. Scored last week against Bentley. Can she score once again? Let's get her 4th goal of the season. And she certainly can. Another fantastic penalty. It was great last week against the Bentley Greens. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But another one here doubles the lead for South Melbourne. And they're continuing to apply that pressure and trying to extend this head-to-head record to 5-1. George Georgiadis' side have certainly come out here a determined side, and they do look the side in the better form. Preston coming off a win last week, but before that, 3 losses in a row. Fonsonkamp, beautiful touch. Inside she goes, and then Grace Taranto did really well to block the path. Christensen. Iamano chips it forward for McKenna. Henderson loses the ball. South find it. Diamano down the line, but couldn't keep it in play. Mikulev. Ramsey comes away with it. Henderson. Johnson finds Lamont. Good touch. Ramsey. Inside, but too far inside for Fonson Cam. Mikulev. Holding off a few. Roach. I have to say, Emily Roach has been South Melbourne's best player in this opening 45. Christensen blows past Ramsey. Seward's charging in. Couldn't get the ball to stay down. But Taylor Christensen once again getting the better of Molly May Ramsey. Sewards, Nishimura, read well by Taranto, Roach, Sewards, still Sewards, and cut off by Checker. Johnson, Fonson Camp, playing it forward. Can Lamont get there? Burst of pace, bumps off Papatsanis. Still Lamont, and an attempt on goal. Just never had the contact, never had the angle. She's still down on the ground, Ellie Lamont. And it's going to be 1 minute of added time to close out this first 45. It's been South Melbourne really dominated the majority of this first 45 minutes. Preston haven't created that many chances going forward. And they've struggled at times defensively, not for the majority of the first half, but key instances. At first goal, a little bit of confusion, allowed Mikulev enough time to tap that ball into the back of the net. And then a penalty given away allowed them to double the lead. But it is still the opening 45 minutes. Still another 45 to follow. Plenty of time to turn this game around. But lots to think about and maybe change if you're Dan Foden. Can you figure out a way to get Ellie Lamont a little bit more involved in the game? She's been really isolated at the top for a large portion of this opening 45 minutes. Very messy here from South Melbourne defensively. Falls to Lamont, and Esposito is just going to be able to collect it and take some time off the clock. And just enough. And that is the end of the first 45 minutes here at Lakeside Stadium. It is the home side, South Melbourne, who hold a 2-goal lead to the visitors, Preston Lions. Been an entertaining first 45 minutes. Seen the underside of the crossbar hit. We've seen Danielle Mikulev score a goal in this first 45, as well as Emily Roach, who's been the standout player, I have to say, for South Melbourne. But we will take a half-time break and be back to see all the action here between South Melbourne and the Preston Lions. Here for the second half between South Melbourne taking on the Preston Lions. It is South Melbourne who have a 2-goal advantage to start this second 45. And we have seen a half-time substitution. And Jade Feeks has made her way off the park. And we're going to see Eva Harrington introduced into this contest. So we will see if Harrington can change this contest up and change the fortunes for this Preston Lions side. We are underway. South get us going. Harrington immediately first contact of the ball. But Mikulev out wide. Going to send a cross in to a couple of deflections. And that ball bobbled certainly out of bounds. And it will be a corner. So what has Dan Foden changed in this contest? What has he told his side? It's going to be an uphill battle against the South Melbourne side that are in fantastic form as of late. Even with the injuries that they've had, they've done really well. And here is Roach. High looping ball. Seward's got a head to it at the far post. There was Rapp. Couldn't get a boot to it. And Taranto chases. But it's going to stay with South Melbourne. Down the line. Westland. Couldn't come away with it. Nishimura wins her side a throw in. Key for Preston was just trying to find themselves some space in this second 45. Can they find a little bit of space? Get Ali Lamont some chances at goal, as well as Hayley Johnson. They just haven't had much space all game. Everything's been really, really hard. Roach stands over the ball. McKenna joins. Can see Harrison trying to direct her wall and protect, but there is Danielle Mikulev all by herself for a short pass if they want to go that way. And the shot on goal from Roach was certainly ambitious, but they did have that short pass out to Danielle Mikulev if she just wanted to cross straight in. Check up. Christensen. Imano, McKenna. Christensen looked like she held her run, but linesman disagrees. Imano. Tanaka. Playing a lot higher to start the second half. Now Fonson Camp got Lamont through the middle. That's where the ball's going to go. Well collected by Esposito. But it does look like Dan Foden has gone to a more traditional back four. In the second half, changed formations it looks like. Christensen. Westland coming back from an offside position. Talevski. Ramsey. Now Tanaka. Ramsey once again. Tanaka able to come away with a beautiful pass out now to Lamont. And Lamont just couldn't get enough curl on it, and then looked like Ailey Johnson just ran straight into Esposito. Correction, it was Susan Fonson Camp. High ball, Ramsey finds Checker. Talevski. Able to lose Mikulev with some timely turns. Taranto under pressure from Lamont. Taranto bursting run forward. Still Grace Taranto. Slips that ball through, but it won't find Sewards. Checker. But it will be a goal kick. Talevski. Still Talevski. Ball picked off momentarily, but it is Preston who's going to make their way forward. Henderson out wide to Fonsoncamp. Quick pass into Lamont. Continuing that run forward now is Preston. Got options in the middle, and that pass needed to be a lot better. They certainly started the second half more lively. Preston. Sewards. Heavy pass inside, well off Mikulev. Second effort, couldn't find her either. Sewards. Nestled into a little bit of space, comes away with the ball. Roach looking for options, picked off, thought her ankles were hit. Referee disagrees. Fonson Camp. Aim deep to collect the ball. Now going to set off Ali Lamont. Haven't seen her use her pace, and now she gets to Lamont. Got options in the middle. That's where the pass is going to go, but blocked off by Taranto, who stuck a boot in there. Still not dealt with yet, and now Tanaka with the effort. And into the hands of Esposito. Chaotic few moments there for the South Melbourne defence. Preston getting closer and closer to getting a goal back in this game. Papatsanis. McKenna. You've just got to ask, could they have done a little bit better? And they might get a second effort at it here. With a cheap corner given away. Nishimura. Can she find a teammate? High ball. Lots of traffic. Falls to the back. Talevski is there. Can she recycle it? Heavy pass to Ramsey, who's under pressure. And cleared forward by Harrington. Roach. Done beautifully to bring the ball down. Finds Westland. Westland. Taranto. She's done well in her return game. Such a strong player. Not afraid to make a run forward. Been really impressed with her return back. Grace Taranto. Poor pass from Roach. Haven't seen too much of those instances. Henderson had to come back for the ball. Looked to be bowled over. Referee waving it off, letting a lot go in this contest. And now, Henderson once again brought down. And this time, the ball is finally brought back for a Preston Lions free kick. It was frantic moments there, and a lot of strong challenges. Georgia Henderson looked like she was fouled a few times. I think one of those instances was finally called back. And it will be Miri Nishimura who stands over this ball. We know she can certainly hit this. Has the quality, has the skill. Will she elect to set up a teammate or go for goal herself? Nishimura, shot on goal! Miri Nishimura stands and puts her hands in the air. And that is the type of player she is. A fantastic strike on goal. And that is Preston Lions bringing themselves a goal back into this contest. Miri Nishimura emulating a player with a lot of aura. Jude Bellingham, hands in the air, and she is a player with aura. That is exactly how you want to start this second half if you are Dan Foden's side. Harrington, Fonson Camp, through the middle she drives. Henderson now, can she slip it through? Finds Lamont, second effort now, Lamont. Out wide it goes to Johnson. Can she deliver it inside? Picked off by Taranto. Iamano clears it. Finds Christensen. Haven't seen a lot of her in the opening stage of the second half. And it's going to stay down this end. Preston's ball. Lamont. Good touch. Wide of goal. Blocked by Taranto. Another corner for Preston. Dan Foden's side have upped the intensity. They lacked attacking chances in the first 45, but they certainly haven't allowed that to be the case in this second half of football down here at Lakeside Stadium. And this is why these two sides are in the top four and are fighting for a place to be in the finals campaign. Nishimura. High delivery, sits up well, punched away, but not very far. Nishimura, another effort, blocked. Can she get a third? Talevski, can she keep it in play? She can. Not many options surround, giving the ball up cheaply to Roach. She doesn't have many teammates up ahead. Still Roach has to hold her run momentarily. Nice footwork, caught herself in a little bit too much traffic, did too much on the ball. Nishimura comes away with it. Tanaka. Johnson. Tanaka's going to make the run on the outside. Henderson, heavy touch, given away cheaply. Westland got Christensen up ahead. And red shirts blocking that path. Christensen out wide. This is the problem for South Melbourne. Not enough options around for Taylor Christensen, but can she create by herself? Forced well further away from goal than she would have liked. McKenna. And can Preston Lions make a comeback in this game? Can South Melbourne get another goal to restore that 2-goal buffer? Taranto. High ball in. It's the path of Sewards. Got to head to it. But he was Harrison that comes away with it. Harrison forced down the line. Christensen got a boot to it. It will stay with Preston. It is second taking on fourth. Preston currently sitting in second, but that is, at the moment, they do have a one game advantage to the Essendon Royals, who are sitting in third place at the moment. Johnson, Henderson, sends it into the box. Ramsey trailing. And collected by Esposito. Molly Mae Ramsey didn't have the best start to this game, but wouldn't it be something if she could get her side level in this contest? Mikulev heads it down for Roach. Roach tries to find Mikulev again. Mikulev may get a chance to go. Ramsey clears it away. Christensen couldn't bring it down, forced wide. And a big battle there between Harrington and Christensen. Preston awarded a free kick deep in their own area. Fonson Camp. Beautiful touch, Tanaka. You know what her footwork's like, and she shows it off once again. Out wide to Fonson Camp. Can they get a good delivery? Fonson Camp with the effort. Lamont couldn't stretch far enough to tap it goalwards. But Preston certainly upping the ante, upping the intensity and the pressure of this contest. They have been so much better in this second 45. Getting closer and closer. It is that Emily Roach goal penalty that separates these two sides. And there is Roach on the ball. Iamano. Still Iamano finds Roach. Back out wide to Christensen it goes. Christensen, beautiful ball across. Mikulev and Sewards, neither could get there in time. That ball was travelling at a rapid pace. Telesky down the line, not able to keep it in play. It was Preston, so South Melbourne going to get their own effort, chance to build some play. Can they wrestle back the momentum in this contest? What instruction can George Georgiadis give to his side to lift their energy? They are still such a threat going forward. South Melbourne, a lot of quality on the park. But at the moment, the momentum is all with the ladies in red. Checker. Out to Tanaka. Couldn't get that. Her foot wrapped around the ball to find Ramsey, who was making that run forward. Checker miscues that kick. Papatsanis down the line. Mikulev, Westland, timely, unfortunate slip. McKenna. Iamano. Christensen. Still Christensen. Bumped off the ball. Waved away. Henderson. Lamont. Forced well wide, Ellie Lamont, and she turns away from trouble. Looked like she was certainly fouled. A lot has been waved away in this contest. Christensen, charging run forward. Timely boot there from the captain. Georgia Henderson, Fonson Camp. Johnson pokes it through. Now a strike on goal. And sailing over it was. Tanaka. Back to Tanaka. Strike on goal. Tanaka off the underside of the crossbar. Second time that crossbar has been involved in this contest. Could prove to be pivotal. Harrington. Iamano. Christensen. Seward's calling for it. Beautiful pass for Mikulev and great goalkeeping to match. Needed to make that save. And Charlotte Harrison quick to respond. Really great pass from Taylor Christensen. That ball out wide. What can be created? Nothing concrete, but it will be a corner. Nishimura. High ball from Nishimura to the near post. And still bobbling around, and now foul is called. Papatsanis. Mikulev. Nishimura. Tanaka. Johnson. Back to Tanaka. Maybe Tanaka. Beautiful ball for Fonson Camp. Couldn't direct it goalwards. But maybe Tanaka, after being moved further forward in this second half, she's been so good. Denied by the underside of the crossbar. Been really involved. Such a quality player. Miri Nishimura. High ball, deep. Couldn't direct it goalwards. Was Altalevski. Minutes of regular time left in this contest. Plenty of time for twists and turns in this contest to arise. which side will come away with the 3 points. That was a poor pass. Papatsanis under pressure from Tanaka. Has to send it down the line. And it's going to be given straight back to Preston. Esposito just got her side into a world of trouble for no reason. Tanaka. Johnson. Nishimura. Fonsonkamp now. Really nicely done from Susan Fonsonkamp. Tries to poke it through. She got it through but couldn't find a teammate to accompany the ball. Roach. Nice touch. Mikulev. Ramsey needs to be alert. Roach forced wide. Ramsey's done really well to hold her off, allow her teammates to come and help her out. Now Westland found a little bit of space. McKenna on the edge of the box. Letitia McKenna. Wide of goal. Had the space but just couldn't wrap her foot around the ball. Kolevsky. Ramsey. Papatsanis. Papatsanis. Roach calling for it and looks to go for a much riskier throw in. Now it finds Roach. Ramsey. Johnson. Lamont able to turn away from Taranto. Still Ellie Lamont couldn't get that bounce and work her way through. Rapp sends it down the line. Couldn't keep it in play though, so will be returned back to Preston. Henderson. McKenna. Now Taylor Christensen. Westland. Roach. Spins. Christensen. Good touch. Cleared away by Checker. South Melbourne wrestling a little bit of control back in this game. Still would have to say momentum lies with Preston. They are certainly starting to run out of time. Still plenty of time left in this game, but it is edging closer where they need to find a breakthrough, particularly if they do want all 3 points. If they're only searching for 1 point, they got plenty of time to just get one goal, but if they want the 3 points, they're going to need to get a hurry on. Talevsky. Roach. And held off there by Talevsky. Now free kick is awarded. McKenna. Will she go for a shot on goal? Certainly not outside of her range. McKenna with the strike on goal, and that was sailing over. It was never under control. We are going to see another substitution from Dan Foden. And we're going to see Molly Mae Ramsey taken off. And we're going to see the introduction of NPLWVIC. 2 goals for Vlamic this season. Can she get a third or set up one? Need to find the back of the net soon if you're Preston. Seward's not able to corral the ball. Tanaka headed on by Johnson. Seward's nicely done. Can she keep it in play? She can, but only to the betterment of Preston. Check up. Long ball. Lamont heads it forward. Johnson only finds the feet of Rapp. Looked like there was a clear foul there, and it was, so Preston. Check up. High ball, but easily headed forward by McKenna. Nishimura sends it into the box. There is Fonsonkamp! Fonsonkamp! Another effort! Lamont! And couldn't keep it down. So many efforts, and it looks like Fonsonkamp's in the back of the net. The ball didn't go there, and then she got her foot tangled in the net as well. That's unfortunate. But what a frantic few moments there. So close, Preston Lions. So close, Susan Fonsonkamp for scoring her first goal for the Lions. But denied by Christina Esposito. Preston have been denied by Esposito. They've been denied by the underside of the bar. And it's been unfortunate in this second half. They've certainly been a lot better. Those unfortunate mistakes in the first 45. That's what separates these two teams. Henderson. And just couldn't execute that one. Lamont heads it forward, bounces awkward, still bobbling around, still efforts on goal from Preston. Henderson keeps it trapped in his final third. Lamont far out wide, still Lamont bobbles Iamano down, and now the foul is called. dealt with just yet. Preston need to be cautious. Tanaka coming back to do the defensive duties. Seward's found a lot of space at times in the second half. Such a hard-working player, Isabella Seward's. Moved from Calder during the off-season. We're going to see another substitution. And it's going to be Ellie Lamont. It's going to make her way off the field to be replaced by Lani Judicic. Tanaka. Fonsonkamp. Beautiful pass from Fonsonkamp. That touch, Johnson, an unfortunate slip. That pass was perfect, weighted beautifully. Had two options, take a touch or take a shot. She took a touch, and then she unfortunately slipped. Under 10 minutes left. What can Dan Foden's side do? Can Georgiades' side hold on to this slender lead? McKenna. Talevsky. Sorry, Vlamic. And it's going to stay down here with South Melbourne. And we're going to see some substitutions this time from South, and it is, as expected, Georgia Candelas being replaced. Who's coming on for Isabella Seward's. Jordana Clayich, she's certainly not on the team sheet. She can't come on. She's injured at the moment. But Georgia Candelas, who's been the lone experienced player on South Melbourne's bench for a while, with all the injuries they've had. Attacking player. Headed forward, Tanaka. Couldn't corral the ball. Mikulev. Roach. Been everywhere this game. And a swing and a miss there. And a corner given away by newly introduced Lani Judicic. Roach, high swinging delivery, punched away. Going to get a second chance at it. High ball once again, headed forward by Rapp, but only to Nishimura, who's just going to send it. Fonsonkamp. And they couldn't get it all sorted. Preston, coherent attack there. like we're seeing some more activity on the Preston bench. Dakota Thyssen looks like she's going to make her way onto the park soon. It's going to be a goal kick for Preston. Ball a little bit short. Johnson. McKenna. Checker. Trying to get some distance. Emma Checker venturing further forward as this game goes on. Tanaka not able to keep it in play. So it's going to be Georgia Henderson and Al Talevsky who are going to head to the bench. We're going to see Dakota Thyssen come on. And we're also going to see looks like Rachel Gillies come on. Fonson Cam not trapped there by Gillies. Has to be alert. Pokes it out. So, it looks like Dan Foden has elected to go with Emma Checker as the centre forward. That's going to be their option. Obviously, Emma Checker, really tall target up front. Can send the crosses into the box. Mikulev wants to hug the corner, but it will be a goal kick. Running out of time is Dan Foden's side. Can they conjure up one great chance for themselves? Level this game up. Can't be too much stoppage time, you'd imagine. Papatsanis. Could imagine South Melbourne now take as much time off the clock as possible. Slow the tempo of this game down. 2 minutes left of the 90. Poked it through. Candilis. Cross goal. Cleared long by Gillies. Roach. Candilis offside. First 45 minutes for Preston. They just weren't at their best. Couldn't create chances. And then they gave up costly mistakes. South Melbourne punished. Miri Nishimura goal got them a goal back in the second half. And then Maybay Tanaka was denied by the underside of the crossbar. Both sides have had their chances, particularly in this second half if you're Preston. Game's certainly not over, but can they find that goal to take a point out of this game? Their efforts in the second half, you wouldn't say it. They're stealing some points away from South Melbourne. They've made their own luck. Nishimura couldn't come away with it. Roach continuing her dominance in this game. Roach with a long-range effort. And it nestles in to the far corner. And that is probably going to be the decider as Preston pushed forward. Emily Roach rewarded with a goal. She's been phenomenal all game. And the best player on the park. And the outstretched hands of Charlotte Harrison just wasn't enough to deny South Melbourne their third goal of the game. And what continues to be a fantastic run for the South Melbourne side as of late, even with all the injuries, they've persevered. They've held strong. And they looks like they're going to get all 3 points here this afternoon. And it's going to be 3 more minutes of added time to close out this game. So unfortunate for this Preston side. They were so much better in the second 45. Lifted their intensity, changed formations, created more chances, cut out a lot of those mistakes. But it's just not going to be enough, it looks. Mikulev on the edge of the box. And held up defensively there was Preston. A beautiful turn away from traffic. And it will be another corner for South Melbourne. And we're going to see another substitution from Georgiadis. And it's going to be Jessica Sheehan, who comes on in replacement of Taylor Christensen, who I imagine is just going to take a light stroll off the park. Take some time off. But South Melbourne, they hung in there in the second 45. They were under a lot of pressure, particularly early on. And they withstood that pressure. Some important saves from Christina Esposito. Another save from the underside of the crossbar as well. As that ball sent into the box and it misses everybody. Falls to the far side. Westland. For Dan Foden and his side, the run as of late hasn't been great. How and what do they need to do to restore the balance, to find that winning formula they had so easily? Roach, high ball, and there is an effort on goal, tapped in. Not sure who got the final touch for South Melbourne, but it doesn't matter. That's the fourth, and that's certainly the decider. From a set piece, I'm not quite sure who got the final touch in the end. Put it down as a collective team effort. And that's probably going to be all it is in this game, and it happens when you're chasing a game. You give up chances to the opposing side. And I've got to say, for Dan Foden on his side, there's still a lot of positives to take out of this game. But what can they do to refine that form again? That is the question. They're certainly in the top four. They look like one of the 4 best sides in the competition. They need to be wary as we near the end of the season. Don't want to fall out of the top 4. Got sides like Boroondara, Heidelberg nearby. And for South Melbourne, an important win, a needed win. Emily Roach, what a fantastic pickup. And a beautiful ball out wide. And Sheehan couldn't really muster up a clear-cut chance. The final 3 minutes have been extended, certainly with the goals as well. Grace Taranto has been good in her return also. Bursting runs forward. Kept her composure. But a fascinating 90 minutes of football that we've had. Both sides having their chances. This game, ebbs and flows of it. But it is, at the moment, South Melbourne with a 4-1 lead, and it's going to end up 4-1 here at Lakeside Stadium. The hosts get the win against this Preston Lions side who fought hard in the second half, but it just got away from them in the end. It's that first 45 they'll look back on and go, what could we have done better? for South Melbourne and George Georgiadis' side. They continue on this fantastic form through this injury-ridden phase of their season. And it is both sides still in the top 4. Could we potentially see this in the finals? Who knows? But that has been all from me. I've been Pecure Frimpong. Thank you very much for joining me. And keep enjoying the NPL Victoria as always. And come back tomorrow. I think there's some more football as well. We're clear.